I think it could be Facebook. I don't think it's on my side. Nothing on my side is showing up this way. Anyway, give me some thumbs up. Shout out if we're getting traction here. Me and see me, and it's not too glitchy. All right. Let me kind of rephrase a few things, and then we'll jump right back into this because I want to make sure we're actually getting the right stuff done. So hang tight. Give me a shout if you're hearing and seeing me, because I really want to make sure you guys get to charge the maximum amount you can for your services in a really fair and equitable way. Yes, CN back here. Nice, Michael. Thanks, Michael and Mike. Let me know if y'all can hear and see me okay. And 3 other people, a bunch of people jumping in there. Just let me know. Hello. Yep, hear you. Cool. Okay. Thank you. So let's just back up real quick to make sure this is all in one video. So let's talk about how you're charging and are you charging enough? So I don't want you. The big thing here is it's a huge mistake to compare your rates with everybody else's rates in the market. Okay. Your rates don't need to compare to everybody else's rates in the market. If you're doing that and you're trying to play that game, then you're going to find yourself in a spot where you're generating income in a commoditized environment, and you're going to be just simply marking up the market rate 20%. You're never going to be able to scale and grow and deliver what you deserve in that framework. You have to think through whatever your product or service is. You have to think through what is the value that you're actually bringing to your client. So in your discovery process, in our discovery process in my creative agency, working in the medical community, we're actually asking questions. We've been doing this for years. Harry, great to see you, Mike. Awesome. All good. Thanks, man, for the heads up on that. Yes. Okay. I think we're all good then. So you want to make sure you're asking discovery questions in your market that really give you the insight and the information to know how your client's going to benefit from your services. So whatever it is you offer, if it's consulting, if it's web design, if it's graphic design, if it's paid traffic, if it's group teaching and training, if it's online courses, whatever it is that you're delivering, you want to find out from your market. So let's just pick, we were talking automation a second ago. If you help people with funnel automation or email automation or lead generation automation, whatever it is, you want to find out what kind of time that saves that owner. You're selling to an owner, you're selling to a decision maker, hopefully. Find out what kind of time it saves them. So if we were able to help you generate 20 new warm leads a month that you were actually on the phone with, how much time would that save you? Oh man, that'd save me like 20 hours a week, 10 hours a week, whatever it is. Cool. So if you could save that time, spend half it with your family, let's say, and then spend the other 5 hours, if it saves you 10 hours a week. The other 5 hours, let's say you're able to be on the sales calls for all these new leads we're bringing in. How much money would that make you? Oh, well, dang it. It'd make me another 100K a month or something like that. Cool. All right. That data point right there gives me a lot to sell off of. I try to sell in the 10 to 20% range of the benefit that I'm bringing the client. So if they're going to pick up an extra 100K a month based on my activity, I'm going to try to charge them as close to $20,000 a month as I can for that service. Okay. So you're like, oh my gosh, just for automation and some funnel sequencing and emails? Absolutely. It doesn't matter. It's so important to break out of this connection between we're delivering a product that's been, Tabitha, Pip, awesome to see y'all too, that we're delivering a product that's been commoditized and everybody does the same thing, right? And so everybody who does paid traffic has a management fee of, I don't know, on the low end, $500, on the high end, $2,500 a month. There's a few outliers, but ultimately you got to sell the value that you're bringing. And I never tell my clients that I'm taking a percentage of that value I'm bringing or that I'm pricing it that way. But that's what's going on in my head as I'm selling to my medical community that I sell into. Okay. We've done this in multiple niches and with our groups that we work in with other creative agency owners. This works in so many niches. It doesn't really matter. What matters is figuring out the value that you bring. So if you're coaching or consulting, and it might not be directly tied to revenue, you can still do this same pattern. You can still jump in there and say, hey, if we're doing, let's say, group consulting that's dealing with company culture, all right? Company culture is something that's hard to tie to a profit number like right away. Culture begins to shift, and that shift ultimately brings a higher profit or brings connection or frees up the boss's time and headspace or whatever. You got to find the value. So why does that owner, why does that manager, why does that company want coaching or consulting? What are they trying to accomplish? out of company culture. They think it will change their productivity. They think it'll change their clarity and their direction and being able to really focus. Whatever it is, try to find a connection that goes back to profit or time. All right. Time and profit you can quantify ultimately and put a price tag on. And there's nobody anywhere who's doing anything in a for-profit company that's not thinking about time or money. All of it boils down to what's the profit going to be and how much time is it going to take, right? Sure, there's lots of complicated issues in marketing and lots of complications around workflows and complications around whatever else your consulting role might be in. That's going to really be kind of fuzzy and doesn't directly relate to the bottom line. But ultimately, the pieces of the machine you're working on are impacting the bottom line. That's why it's getting past the committee or the board or the financiers who have to make the decisions if they can hire you. So our job as leaders is to really make the case and help them see the value that's coming out of that and how that value of culture, let's say, really impacts the bottom line, the long-term growth, the true vision, the long-term trajectory of the company. And when you can start calculating that into time and money, you can start charging a percentage of that. Again, not saying we charge a percentage on an invoice or on a presentation, but you can start thinking through in your own head, I'm going to base the pricing of this project on a percentage, a 10 to 20% number of the value I'm going to bring. Okay. I keep saying that 10 to 20% number of the value you're going to bring. It could be 50% of the value you're going to bring. It could be 5% of the value you're going to bring. There's some nuances depending on the industry you're in, but ultimately, in most of us as creative agencies or coaches, that 10 to 20% of the value is a really straightforward place to price. You might find yourself a little scared of the price tag you're about to pitch, but if you pitch the value and you're really listening and discovering, which we've talked about so many times before in other videos where we're doing Q&As, if you pitch that value, you're going to really find yourself in a place where you're positioned to pitch the real amount you should be earning to help them achieve that value, right? You are a machine that's able to help them make money. You're planting money trees in their backyard. Money trees are expensive, right? You should get paid for that. So if you're building sites, building funnels, running traffic, doing creative work, video work, picture like editing, if you're doing digital editing, that kind of stuff, if you're doing voiceover, if you're doing SEO, if you're doing group coaching, one-on-one consulting, teaching, training, recorded that you're selling it, or if you're doing it live, if you're stage teaching, whatever it is, you got to sell at a percentage of that value. Okay. The biggest lesson here is don't get caught up in comparing your pricing structure to your next door neighbor's pricing structure. All right. If you have any questions, I'm going to wrap this up in a minute. I'm not trying to go too fast, but I really want to make sure I answer the questions because I don't want anybody to get stuck in this one. If you, and thanks Brett again for the question on this one. If you have any, if you have that tendency to keep going back and charging what everyone else is charging, try to slowly get away from that. If you're scared about slowly getting away from that, then maybe don't shift your entire pricing structure in one day. Say, okay, I'm going to take every fifth sale, every third sale, something like that, and try to sell that new way. Okay. Sell that new value amount. Don't make a huge shift that could blow your whole budget and collapse your infrastructure. Sell a percentage of them that way. And if it's like every fifth sale, if you're getting, let's say 5 opportunities to pitch a week and you sell one of those a week with the new value structure where you're pricing at a much higher level, don't get discouraged if the first time you pitch that doesn't work, because the first time you pitch anything, it doesn't work, right? Unless you get lucky and then you get this delusional idea that every time I pitch, it'll work. And it doesn't. Sales is a percentage game. It's a numbers game, right? So what's up, Kenneth? Great to see you. So Dennis, glad you jumped back in this one. Hope the audio is good for you. You want to make sure that you pivot that transition to a higher value sale a little bit at a time, and then you give it time, right? So if you're just doing one sale, if you're doing one sale a day or one selling opportunity a day, and you want to stick with your lower priced market or offer that you've had, fine. But once a week, 1 out of 5, 1 out of 3, whatever it is for you, take a shift, go for that higher value, really increase the price and sell to the value you're bringing. Listen to your audience, listen to your market, listen to the person you're selling, do the discovery, right? Just in that first sales interview, and really figure out what are they asking to have solved? Not the mechanics of what they're having solved, but what's the pain point they're experiencing that keeps them up at night, that makes them sweat? What is it that they want solved? Sell to that and try to quantify it in a dollar amount and sell a percentage of that dollar amount, 10 to 20%. Don't tell them that again. Just use that as you're thinking through your prices. Sell it. And if you don't land the deal the first time, it's okay. You're not going to know if you're able to sell something until you practice. For me, typically 20 to 30 times practicing a new thing before I'm convinced what my ratios are. Okay. So that's a lot of activity. That's why I constantly talk about getting activity in here. Activity breeds results. You got to have opportunities. You got to build activity. If you want more questions on that answered, dig down below. So get the activity and then start pivoting a small percentage of those opportunities. What's up, Tasha? Good to see you. Good morning. Pivot those opportunities and make sure that you're really pivoting slowly into that new way of selling, unless you just got tons of guts and tons of cash to back up your guts and you want to shift half your sales or all of them to a new pricing model. Now, that being said, I'm the kind of guy who loves to take a risk and try something out. So when I've made these shifts, I've gone cold turkey and it's worked. All right. But you have to believe it. There's nothing wrong with going cold turkey. You just have to believe it. And you have to know that I know I'm valuable and I know I'm worth this amount. And I know that I can bring the result I'm promising. If you got that in your head and your heart and you're sure about it, not are you sure if you can sell it, but are you sure about what you do? If you know your skill and you know you can make a change for a team or for a company or for an individual that you're working with, then step up and sell it and get paid what you deserve to get paid. I don't know how else to say that. If you know what you're doing and you know the results you can bring, doesn't matter if you have testimonials or 5-star reviews or a bunch of video testimonials on your page. That's not it. If you know you can deliver, you know you can help that person, figure out the value you can bring them, crack a percentage of that, and charge them that. Go for it. Be gutsy, say it, and do it. I know that sounds a little scary for some folks. It was scary for me when I first started doing that, but it so works. You'll get paid what you deserve. They're going to value your work more, and they're going to really respect what you're doing. They're going to deliver their content. They're going to show up. They're going to do their part. They're going to follow your steps more. It's going to work even better. And you're going to find that you're going to make a much higher profit margin on clients who respect you a lot more and don't nitpick every little thing. They're going to be the easiest clients you've ever worked with. They're going to get their part done, and you're going to bring them results at a whole new level that you never thought was possible. They're going to have more success than they would if they charged you less. It's just the way our heads work. Go talk to a psychologist. They'll explain it to you. I don't know all the ins and outs, but I do know that when people really are paying more and they know the value they're going to get, they are all on board and they will do the work. All right. Our clients in our creative agency, the surgeons that we work with, their teams, they are 100% on board. We're expensive, but we get stuff done. All right. And they know it. And we're going to go through the process with them. So have confidence, know what you're good at, deliver it, and get that stuff done. Any other questions? Dennis, a lot to think about here. Yeah, man, I know a lot of brain games going on here. And unfortunately the brain games here are, I'm about to wrap up. So any other questions, let me know. Again, thanks dude for the Brett for mentioning this question. Really good one. A lot of the brain games here are in our own head, right? The client is sitting there waiting for you to deliver results and help them see that they can do what they want to do. And they're waiting for you to give them a price so they can decide if they can take action. It's not that big a deal to the client. It's a big deal to you. It really is. You've got to be where you are. And if you can deliver the value, do it. Just that simple. It's that simple. It's hard to untangle the stuff in your head that says it's not, but it honestly is that simple. If you're overthinking it, you got to move past that. Once you get past it and you get a few of these under your belt, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, what was I doing? I wasted years selling at this level. Yeah. So what? It's a learning process. Get past it. Okay. Awesome question. Fantastic question. It's Friday, folks. I say this almost every Friday. Don't work this weekend. Just don't do it. Go for walks, go for hikes, hang out with your family, your friends, your pets, whatever you got around you. Get outside. If it's raining, get an umbrella. Get outside, breathe some air. If you're in a place in the world right now where you can't because they're locking you up, then go just stand next to your window. I don't know. Open the door and lean out. Do whatever you can to get some free space. But whatever you do, put your phone down You can watch Netflix, you can watch Amazon movies, you can have fun, but don't let it suck you back into work. If Facebook or Instagram or whatever social platform you love hanging out on is connected to your phone and it pings you constantly, you're like, I want to hang out and see my friends on Instagram, but then you end up getting all this work stuff going on. Just stay away from it for your days. You need the headspace. I promise you, dealing with all these kind of issues and doing better things in your agency and making better decisions has a lot to do with the headspace you've got right now and how much free time you have to think and chill and relax. Even if things are tight, even if money's tight, take the space to chill. All right. We all need that. So you will not see me again until Monday. Y'all have a fantastic weekend. It's always super cool to hang out with you guys and girls. I look forward to seeing you again on Monday. Fire away your questions. Drop them in the comments below. Drop them in private messages either way, and I'll take care of them. All right. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.